Good evening. It's September 10, the day before 9/11. For some people who remember that. The actual date, 9/11, I landed the day before in Chicago, 9/10, 2001. It was a scary day, the day after, or the day before, I should say. Let's start the show. Welcome back. It's been some time. Had some issues with a couple of previous weeks. I've been updating the machine, and I had the same thing today when I started the VM and on Azure, and needed some updates, a lot of updates again. Almost seems like I'm only updating and updating and updating. I have no clue what to do today, but let's go over to the code window, this one, and see what we can do today. I'm actually thinking of trying to find something with the Office development thing, where we need to trigger a function from the manifest file. And let's go into the code. Let's go to the repos. Because what I was working on is the PnP Office Add-ins. Oh, PnP Office Add-ins. And go to the samples. Go to my project, Excel Open Close Task Pane demo. CD Excel Open Close Task Pane. Apparently that's not right. Open daemon. That's not a daemon. Demo. Demo gods are not with us today. Code dot. Let's think about what we left off last time. Fix debugging, that's for later. Add a button state. But first we need to trigger a function on the open and close button. And if you go to the manifest file, you should see a function call in there. Function name, button close task pane. And I haven't been able to find a way to get this triggered. So let's do some research on that today. Google, find the execute function. Function in the manifest. Office. Action element. We've been here before, as you can see. There's a second one here. Maybe that's new. No, January. This is July. And the specification is the function name. Something like this. And I think it's already in there like this. quiet element when show task pane. Yeah, but that's not what we use. Usually you do this, show task pane, but now we want to do some different things here where we open and close the task pane. And so there's no close task pane type from what I know. So we need to do that a little bit different. Let's see, execute function, that should be the same. Exercise type execute function. Why is this so indented? And the function is button close task pane. And that's defined in the commands in here. So this should be triggered. But now I want to find a simple example where this actually works. Let's see if we find some more information here. Execute function. Get subject. This is related to what? Defines a JavaScript function that executes an action, launches a task pane. Mobile button. Is this in any way related to Office? Yes. Yes. Execute function. Enable, disable commands. Adding commands. Following example, the button is disabled when the add-in launches. Can be programmatically be enabled. This is by default enabled is false, and I triggered that for our project to enable this true, and also for the open, I think. Well, by default it's true, I think. Let's add it anyway. After the action. Indentation is completely off. Not sure what happened there. It has a label, hide task pane, and a show task pane label, and tooltip, open task pane, close task pane, show task pane button example. Yeah, this is show task pane, but that's without the function. That's not really what I want. I wanted it to do this like this. Execute function, get button. There's another get button. Get item class. What does it say? Mobile button needs to override. We don't need the mobile button. More information, see enable, disable, adding commands. With some functionality, blah blah blah. You can program and enable, disable your adding commands. Office application platform support only. Only available in Excel. And only on Office on Windows and on Office on Mac. Really? Yeah, I'm in Excel, so that's not really an issue. Requirement sets are named group blah blah blah. The enable disable APIs belong to the ribbon API 1.1. And what's used in here? One point one. So that should be okay as well. Want to become famous? Buy followers? What's the use of buying followers? Shared runtime required. In the runtimes element, the manifest add the following child element runtime resource ID contoso shared runtime URL. Lifetime is long. APIs and manifest markup described in this article require that add-ins manifest specify that it should use a shared runtime. To do this, take the following steps. In the runtimes element, in the manifest, runtimes, there, it has the contoso shared time URL, that's the resource ID. That's based on this one. Lifetime long. If there isn't already a runtimes element in the manifest, create a first child under host. Here. Lifetime long, that's also the case. There isn't already a runtime blah blah blah. The element instant manifest created first child on the host, that's what we did. The resource URLs section of the manifest add the following child element URL, shared runtime URL, and then my domain path to start page, where the my domain is the domain of the add-in. It's the path for the start page. Index HTML. I'm not sure if index HTML is my startup thingy, because I think this one is the default. Let's have a look. Task pane HTML. Task pane TS. There's a run, but the other one was about index. I think there is an index in here. Shift index.html. So what's with the URL here? It's pointing to task pane already. Yeah. Let's quickly reboot my restream chat. Apparently it picked up the wrong one. Hi guys. This is a test. Yeah, that works. Let's see. Continue with this one. Default value localhost index HTML, but it's not mine. Depending on whether your add-in contains a task pane, a function file, or an add-in Excel custom function, you must do the following. If the add-in contains a task pane, set the resource attribute of the action source location. This is actually what we're not using. If the add-in contains a custom function, set the resource ID of the page source location element exactly to the same string as you used for the resource ID runtime in step 1. This one. For example, Contoso shared runtime URL. Source location. If the add-in contains a function file, it's not a custom function. Function file. Set the resource ID attribute of the function file element to exactly the same string as you used the resource ID of the runtime element. Of the function file element. Function file element. Let's see if that's in there. Function file. Resource the commands.url. That's the same as... No, that's not the same. Wait, this is the task pane. Exactly the same string as you use for the resource ID runtime. It's, for example, the element should look like function file or resource ID shared runtime URL. Why should that be the same? Let's first have a look at if it's running. Npm start. Node is kicked in. I also need update my follower account. Follower goal. Just install the certificate. Apparently it got a new certificate. Got it. So there's the application with the Contoso data. Now we have two buttons here. And if I press this one, oh, it's actually opening the task pane. But that's probably because it's clicking the button and then opening it with show task pane. Oh, the type is show task pane. That's not what I wanted. I want the execute function there. So the question is, can we get some logging in there? Let's see. How can we get some logging in there? Commands. It's using the beta, not the 1.1. That should be okay. Let's see if we can have a debugger active. Attached to Office. Let's see if it can be attached. Let's first have a look at the selected selected browser. Copy, go to the terminal. Let's check what the output is right now. Hi David, how are you doing? It's set to Edge already. So let's have a look at the color thing. This one. Put a break in there. See if we can get it to break there. Question is it now attached? I think it's not attaching. It's the same thing we run into every time. All the time, and that means that I'm not able to break in here. I'm also not able to find, there you have it. So it stopped debugging now. I really want to know if my command is hit when I hit the button. In here. This one. First I need to change the function there somewhere. Copy this. Copy. Let's see if I can comment that out. Where is it? There it is. Copy that and bring it in instead of the show task pane item. save, and this should be open task pane. Let's check if that's actually a thing. And it is. There it is. And also go to the original application. The shared runtime scenario one. Shared runtime, this one. Because in here it's somehow working, but in this case it's showing a different page. I think. Execute function. Oh, there it was. Open task pane. That's in the command ts. This is the function. For some reason also my console log is not. I don't have the option to use console in here. See, that's giving me an issue. Although it is resolving. Console with a capital C. Really? No, that's a different one. That's a different thing. There's a login here. And it's a capital. That's weird. Is it done in a TypeScript? Oops. There's a light bulb there. Show documentation for no and dev. Open. That's done for ESLint. But even then, if I run this, I need to get it active in the browser itself. Let me think. How can I get the debugger active in here? It's basically this thingy here. I'm unable to debug it right now. Test debugger. Nothing happens. The reason for that is I also have to go to GitHub maybe. Let's find my very secret password for that. And my multi-factor. Security always is fun. There we are. There was some information on the debugger. More activity. Code not attaching. There's a big discussion over there. Observe the failure to attach the desired process sometimes for results from process left over from previous debugging scenarios. Not in my note in my scenario. I have only been debugging with legacy Edge. I haven't tried to switch to web views yet. This is already set. This was the command that I just issued. If you want to do it with WebView 2, but I don't think the Office add-in is attaching to WebView 2 yet. As is Courtney Owen saying here, that you need to use the Edge thing there. Let's find out what Altitude Apps is saying here. Sorting the process by name. Let's see internals, Process Explorer. This is internals, Process Explorer. There we are. Run now. Agree. This is the VM, yeah. Now let's see. Let's stop this one. And also kill node here. And what he is saying, let's take that out. Sort by process here, process by name. Wow, all these entries for code. Nothing node in here anymore. Find first control kill process, that happens often. Something else that I've noticed that if best luck if I already have the Microsoft Edge DevTools preview app running. DevTools, this one. Cortana task pane. Why do I have a Cortana task pane? Let's see. Sometimes else I've noticed already before I attempt to click the Start Debugging button with my attached task pane. Launch select. What is he saying here? Before I attempt to click the Start Debugger button with my attached to task pane launch item selected. I'm fuzzy on whether this is not actually necessary though. I found this thread while I was looking solving blah blah blah. Yeah. Got a response from the target app, but no target page is found. Super excited debugger extension. Below is a screenshot. It's what I got as well. If there is a process called WWA Kitchik, let me see. This is first you are running VS Code as admin. Oh, that's the thing. That might be the issue. Is that the case? Okay, let's close this and close the other one. Maybe it's so easy. So close this and do this command. Run as admin. Go back to the code. Data, repos, PMP, samples, Excel, open close task pane, code, dot. Now we should have an admin running, yes. There you go. Now let's run this. Node is kicked in. But the problem even if I got this running, the commands for this are probably loaded earlier. Although I have to press the button, so could be there. See, the task pane is now not arriving. And let's go in here. See if we can get this to break somewhere. Ctrl-Shift-D. Attach to Office. Let's see if we can now attach it. Output. Out debug console. Is it moving? Still not touching, I think. See, it's repeatedly going over this, so is there a node now? There. Where is it? Yeah, there you go. And it was already red. Where's my... Up there. The first one. This one. But this is actually the one that you are running. So it's still not able to find it, apparently. Cannot connect to runtime process target task pane something. Let's see the dev tool. Yeah, the dev tool is not able to see this because there is no task pane triggered yet. So I have to go back to the drawing board here and close Excel. Don't save. Cancel. And close Node for this one. let's see. Now we have to change the manifest back to what it was. To at least be able to trigger the task pane in. Save. Now terminal npm start. And why is node not kicking in? So that's probably this one. We have to. Now node is gone. Npm start again. Still no node. Where's my node? Come on. For some reason the node is still running. But it's not showing it. No display any node entries in the list. Don't save. Here it says already running. Let's see what the task manager is saying. Details. Roam. There's no node in here. Let's close this one for now and open it again. Button task pane ID. So instead of running a function, I'm now running the show task pane thing to at least be able to trigger the task pane. But for that we need node to start first. npm start. There it is. Oh. Wait for it to compile. Yes, compiled successfully. And now we should be able to trigger the task pane. And we have code running as admin. And so now we have the task pane active, and we should be able to see it in the DevTools. In here, refresh. There it is. So now if we debug in here, let's disconnect this one. Refresh, still in there. Go to code. Find the red item again. Color. There, yellow, it's not red, it's yellow. Now it's a breakpoint. Let's try to get the debugger attached. debug console. I think it's still not attaching. It says something about www h host. And what's it called in? Oh, what's in there? Underscore host. See, it's failing, but it should be visible. Open close task pane. This is exactly the same, I think. 1601, yes. English US. $1,234. $1,234. Can't find matches. Localhost task pane. Oh, what? It's looking for a 0, but there is a 3 available. There's a 3 in there. Really? Was it changed? Go to the manifest. No, the launch. Should be in there. Launch. There's a 0 there. Should be a 3. Really? Save. Let's stop everything. Stop this show. Don't save. Close node. Let's be sure and close this as well for now. Refresh, it should now be gone, yes. Code dot clean slate. And then npm start, npm start. Oh, clicking it. Waiting for it to compile. Compiled successfully. Now try to attach the debugger. Let's first have a look if it's available. If I kick it in, this is available and it should show here. Now you see the 3 again. So next, yeah, we already had the breakpoint in here somewhere. Let's find the color again. Color, oh, let's find yellow. So we now know it's yellow. There. Ctrl-Shift-D, attach to Office. Output debug console. This is working, I think. Attach to Office. I think it's attached now. Let's try find out. Run. There you go. Now we are in the break. So that's actually the case. It's a 0 at the end. So it's no longer a 0 at the launch thingy. Let's go to GitHub. Let's see if it was changed in here. debugger extension. Let's have a look at the documentation here. Install and use. See, here is a 0. That changed to 3 right now. Okay. Not sure why this is a 3. Let's Google a little bit more there. And make that a 3. Nothing in there. So I'm not sure why it proposed to show me this without quotes. Oh, it actually doesn't. It's not able to find anything with this 0. There you are. So let's make a screenshot of this one. If it's even showing it. It's a long story here. Can I search in here? No. There it is. Let's make a shot of this. Apparently I don't have my, oh wait, I can do it differently. Do it by selecting this and then print screen, making it possible. This is the other one. This is the debugging tool, apparently. Copy that. Let's make this one red. Come on. Like this, and an arrow pointing to the 3. And save this. File. Let's bring that to my temp. connect Office add-in. Save. Okay. Now go to GitHub. Go to this specific issue. Not attaching. Let's reopen it again. We keep reopening it. I found that it was not working again. Also found the cause of it to fail. Where's the line in the launch setting? Instructions show the following example with a 0. Oh, that's not the smartest thing to do, probably. As you can see, it ends with US $, 4 times 0. My processes, however, had the following. Note this ends with US $, 4 times 3. Let's make that bold again. Let's have a preview. And I can add a picture in here, I think. Is there a way to copy picture in there? Copy. It's uploading. Preview. After changing the config to US $3, I got it to work again. Question is, what defines the entry at runtime? Okay, let's put it in again. Comment. So this is again an issue. I would like to be able to use URL filter in my launch entries. I'd like to be able to do this in my launch. This doesn't work. URL filter, blah blah blah. With the wildcard, okay. URL filter with the wildcard does not match the root URL. Yeah, I can understand. So they don't support the wildcard in here. It's still open. I'm not sure they will fix this. So with that out of our way, let's see if we can get the function in our output. What's this? Off is not defined, but it's at runtime, I think. Let's have a look at this and go to the commands. There should be the close task pane function. Let's now put a break in there, and it's not giving a break. There's a break. No. Why is this not giving a break? Really? Okay. Breakpoint ignored because generated code not found. Source map problem. Is my debug still running? Oh wait. Continue. I didn't know. Oh, wasn't responding. Okay. Let's close it again. And stop debugging here. And close this one. Now let's see. Now it's running the breakpoint. Let's see if we can restart it without closing it down altogether. npm start. See if node is restarting. Yes. Wait for it to compile. Compiled successfully. So now it should be active. And if you go to the developer pane, developer preview thing, refresh, it's now not visible. But if you do load the task pane, now it's visible. If I refresh this, there it is. So this should be the moment that we also can go to the debugger in here, attach it. Debug console. Let's check if we get it to be connected. I think it is. Select and start debug configuration. I think I already connected it. Let's have a look if it's connected. It is. F5. Okay. Now let's see if we can break it on the close window. It's not. So it's probably not finding the function. What's this collaborative collaborate from everywhere, work on this file. Microsoft Teams, your shared workspace with the chat. No, I don't want to open it in Teams right now. So let's go in here to the commands, and now it's back to gray again. Why is that? One active session. Start constant and closed scope. We're not ready for doing this. If needed, OfficeJS is ready to be called. This one. No, it's also not the breakpoint. Breakpoint ignored because generated code not found. Google. Breakpoint ignored. Because generated code not found. Because generated code not found. What's the solution here? Look at the configuration, it's hard to know exactly blah blah blah. Secondly, it also looks like your React client is served from source client. Somehow I've managed to debug again by adding webpack.star to the source map path overrides in my JSON. Changing launch the JSON workspace folder or www root to workspace root. So that should be something like this then. Don't want to debug the node modules. Solution, I found a less painful blah blah blah. The webpack config route was becoming unbearable with the deadline I'm facing. What's he doing here? Stop the debugger. Angular, I'm not using Angular. Terminating batch job. Let's have a look at the launch in here. Here. That's already in there. Workspace folder, workspace root. So there's already something in there like that, but workspace folder, but it should be some wildcard, I think. Let's see what's in the original project. Workspace folder. That's the same. So this one you can find this one, but not the other one. This one is in source, it's not in the root. The other one, this one, with color in it. This one, this actually is in the root, I think. No? So it is able to find this one. It's not able to find this one. Also, this one is emphasized items. What does that mean? Google contains emphasized items. Use code. Like things with an error in there. And what is in there then? Nothing. So which one has the emphasized thingy in there? Is that this one? I don't think so. Set runtime visible helper to false. Oh, sorry. So why is it able to find this one, but not this one? Taskpane.ts. Taskpane.ts. .ts. This one. Why is this complaining about all these items here? Never read. Never used. Task pane. This one. Taskpane.ts is found. This one is not. Not sure why. Chunks, taskpane. Looks the same. That's what you get when you're not a web developer and you're a client developer. Then you have to find out all these terrible small things. So now I have to find out why this is showing as generate code not found. Breakpoint ignored because generate code not found. This can be closed now because we solved this. This one is that one. Breakpoint ignored because generated code. Breakpoint ignored because generated code. How do we solve this? What's the answer here? If you it's not the same folder, if your VS Code folder is not in the same folder as your source folder, this is probably your issue. Terminal. don't think this is an answer. This is tutorial that I followed. There's no answer in here, I think. Also, debug console, I'm getting could not download source map from. Okay. Is that showing mine? No. Map root. Samples, demo. Let's find another one. Well, there's nothing necessarily wrong with debugging the way printing console out all over the place. It doesn't have a shortcomings key. Can be difficult and blah blah blah. If you're using VS Code, it's a great debugging tool. This includes setting breakpoints, stepping in and out of code. To get started with debugger for Chrome extension, the Visual Studio Code will create a VS Code launch.json. Here it is space root source. Workspace root source. Is this Andrew Connell? No. To get essential, this means Visual Studio Code is not what's this? I do most of my development on Windows and Linux. There is a slight issue due to the difference in the path referenced inside blah blah blah. This is going to resolve my Windows path. The result was below annoying but not be found. Essentially, this means Visual Studio Code is not able to map the source files listed in Chrome to actually source files on disk. This to get around this, I configured source map override in launch.js to essentially alias the Unix path to the Windows path. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the case. Source map. Let's first start with this /source, because I think that's the case in here. This specifies a workspace absolute path to the web server root used to resolve paths like app.js to files on disk, shorthand for path mapping for /. src. Let's try this. Don't save. Node. Oh. Control doesn't stop. Can kill it, but would like to use a command line command for it. Let's try again. Stop debugging. Tick. npm start. Don't get node. Don't save. Let's close this again. Code. npm start. Wait for... Oh, no, it is still not kicking in. Come on, guys. Let's see if there's a node in the processes, maybe. There. Not sure why it's not killed. npm... Oh, that's not what I wanted. npm start. There we are, waiting for node to compile. There we are. It should bring in the task pane. That should make this visible. There we are. Now we should be able to debug attached to the Excel instance running. And I think it's attached. Now let's see if we have a difference in here. No, it's still not. Not working. So the question is, how does the JSON thing map? That's what I did. Or type dot exit. Should be Control C, I think, but apparently not working. Let's check the task manager again. Running node. There's node again. It's a stubborn thing. Now it's red. Launch. Root. Let's see. npm start. Still no node. Where's my node? Already running? It's not running. Come on, guys. Task manager. Why is it thinking that node is still running? code again. Let's see if it now is adopting this one maybe. Code npm, oh, do it again. npm start. There we get node. Wait for it to compile. Commands is built. Task pane is built. Entry point. There's a commands.js map. So why is this not adopted? This one is only dev. Yeah, it is, but it's same here. Commands is showing up here. Commands. I would say it's actually right. Or maybe it's because I've changed it. Did it compile? Yes, it did compile. Now run it. Let's see if it's visible. It is visible. Program ID 11832. Let's see if we can find something here. Details 11A3. This one. The dub a host. Dub a host. Can't see it anywhere. Maybe overlooking it, but at least it's running in dub a host. That should be the old edge, I think. Dub a host. Save an essential process Windows 8. That's not really Windows 8, but it's probably Edge. Edge. It is. JavaScript apps, web apps running in dub.h host process now support an optional per application background script. It's the web view from Edge web view. Where were we? We had running this one. We open the task pane and Now we would want to see if you can set a breakpoint. It is. Really? Yes. Yes. So now let's see if we can hit the close button. But it's not breaking because I did not. Oh, that's the reason it's also red. Darn it. Because I did not attach it yet. Attach it and that will probably disable it again. Hope not. That disabled it again. Why, oh why? I hate this. We can force it in, but I'm not sure if that's actually working. Because this one, notepad. Let's see. Data, repos, PNP, samples, global close, source. Copy. I don't think this will work, but we have to try it. Workspace folder source. The launch file. What's in the setting? Something like this, then. Make sure this points blah blah blah. Now taken care of. You just need to complete the configuration VS Code. To do this, go to the debug pane and select add configuration. Already did that. Then select configure icon. So open launch.js and you can configure it and add an extra parameter from the plugin documentation. Once completed, Webroot is used to resolve like HTTP local APS to a file on disk, so be careful that it's set correctly. If you want to use a different installation of Chrome, URL of the Open Browser tab, connection refused. There's no thing here at configuration. No, that's what we already done. Have done. Did. Save. Let's try again. npm start. What did it say? Content not from Webpack is served from blah blah blah. Okay. Attach. And it's disabled again. Kind of stuck here because I'm not able to debug it this way. So that was not a solution. Node, launch. So this one actually did not work either. Workspace folder, back. output. Copy. That's that again, and then what it does is this one. Copy. Comma. Let's try. That's still attached. Stop debugging. Terminal. npm start. Here's node. So I don't see anything changing here, but go back in here. Ctrl+Shift+D. Attach it. Let's try first, see if it's actually debugging. Run. It's not breaking. Why is it not breaking? Did I remove the... What? Oh, now is this one is now missing. Now they are both missing. Great. Okay. So if I change this one back to normal. Most likely the source is now not working. Stop debugging. Tick npm start. Node. Excel. Got it. Wait for it to compile. There you go. Task pane. There's the task pane. Now go in here. Attach. JSON with commands file. Okay. Did it attach? Yes, I think so. Let's try. See if the breakpoints are now active. It's not. And that's probably related to the source in here. because it's probably already handled by the Webpack configuration maybe. So go back to the launch, there, go stop the debugger, then the source was not there originally. Let's check if that's the same. It is. Save. That should bring back the task pane. Sub. True. npm start. Sub. We are building, trying to connect the debugger to the Office add-in. Did we get node? Yes, we get node. Compiled successfully. So bring in the task pane. That's running. That's the debugger. Now we see the task pane is enabled. I'm trying to get Power BI embed with my Blazor. What you're working on? At this time I'm working on pure OfficeJS. It's the JavaScript interface for the Office applications that should replace the Visto, the Vis Studio tools for Office APIs, with the FAT client, the FAT.NET client. Microsoft decided in all their wisdom to build the new interface on JavaScript or TypeScript, if you, depends on what you prefer. Oops, almost pulled out my headset. And but that's a pain in the rear to get things going if you are used to .NET. There you are. My debugger is now working for task pane, but it's not for commands. So that's kind of strange. Now have a look at the solution that this other guy was providing. Close node. Stop the debugger. Go back to launch. And then go back to the solution. Let's see if it's working without the source extension on this. I find it kind of strange because I think it should, I'm not sure it's mapping itself, I think. Save. Control take, npm start. Sub. Yes, sub. Wait for it to compile. Compiled successfully, so we now should be able to bring this in, and it should now be visible on the thingy in here. It's visible. So now we should also be able to attach the debugger. And now everything is gray. So that did not help at all, because now it won't break on any of these things. See, it's not breaking. Darn it. Well, the easiest way would be stop the debugger. If I move all these items from commands to task pane, but now there will be some issues in the code, I think. Or maybe not. Commands. Kind of sneaky. Let's do it. Oh, is there still node running? No. npm start. Did we stop the debugger here? Yeah. Now let's first get this back to normal. Because that at least would bring back the task pane. npm start. There's node. So you're running a debugger that's working with Excel. Now the debugger should be it should be possible to use Visual Studio Code for it as debugger. They do have the Office team did create a different. I'm not sure if it's the Office team. It's the Edge team, most likely. Created this Microsoft Edge DevTools preview, and this is the Edge web view, not web view 2. You can debug in this thingy. If I attach this, if I select this, then I can attach to this. But you want to be able to do it from your source code, because you're living in your source code. You never want to move out to another area and have a look at the breakpoints in there. So you want the integrated experience. And so far, it's not been a good experience, if you ask me. But we're slowly getting there. At least we get the debugger triggered. Did it compile? Yes, it was compiled. Now we should be able to see it if we open the task pane. It should now be visible in here. And it is Excel. Now launch the debugger in here. Ctrl-Shift-D, attach to Office. So what we're now doing is attaching Visual Studio Code to the Excel add-in. Yeah, I created this add-in, this one. So now you notice the task pane is now red, so it can be debugged. So if I do this, run, it will actually create a yellow area. If I create this, make this red, then the first time it will still contain the yellow area. Oh, it's went over in a timeout. So let's do it again. See, now it's red. And the stopped. Did it lost my connection? Let's try again. Lost my connection somehow. Debug again. Run. There it is. Now make it blue. Save. 5. Still red, so run it again. Breaking F5. And now it's blue. So now I can debug the task pane, but what I need is debugging the command TS. So, because I want to know whenever the task pane is opened or closed. And that's not working. It's still giving me the breakpoint ignored because the generated code is not found. So I don't think I get this to work right now. I have to do some more research on this. Let's see if we can get this to fixed. But changing it in location apparently is not the solution either. And it's probably related to the Webpack configuration somehow. So I have to dive into the... Oh, wait, it's red. Why is it red? Yeah, it's also these squigglies. And that should be no problem because that's just items that are not used. So probably a Webpack configuration issue. Let's wrap this up for now. I will continue with this the next time. Stop debugging. So if you want to see how this continues, then I suggest hit the follow button if you like to see more of this, and or if you're on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button. Thanks for the follow. How do you pronounce your name? Deflux K. Thanks for the follow. So let's wrap this up for now. Where's my screen? There we are. So what we've been doing today and got accomplished to get the debugger attached to the add-in, that finally worked in a way, but only a couple of these files. I'm not sharing my screen anymore. We're not able to attach, but I will get to that the next time. So hopefully we get that fixed soon. Gonna rate some poor streamer. I'm not sure if there's anyone available right now. Let's have a look. Show more. There are not many people online anymore. Let's try to get Hello Creation. Hello Creation. There we go. Start rate. Say hi from me, and see you next time then. Bye. Starting the rate. There we go. Waiting for it to go. 3 viewers are ready to rate now. There we go.